everybody, I am Sarah, this is Overkill Reviews, and we're back at the Banger Bar. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you can hear about new metal every single week. I've spent the last weekend being super busy. I was DJing at Coalition. As you can see, I've brought some records today. See more of my record collection? Follow me on Instagram at Last Final Before Doomsday. Today, I'm reviewing the brand new studio offering by Detroit-based band Temple of Void. The album is called Lords of Death, and it's out today on Shadow Kingdom Records. Lords of Death is a deceptive little record. It's a grower, not a shower, and it's the second offering by the band that formed in Detroit in 2013. Now, a little insight into Detroit. They've got a great metal scene going there, and the bands are super underrated. Some of them include the power metal, black metal, experimental act Demon Bitch, who is amazing. There's also the kind of black thrash band Nuke. There's Borrowed Time, who are power metal / traditional metal, and there's also Shitfucker, who you might know from their very controversial album title. And I think that Temple of Void is definitely a great addition to that scene. Want to hear some crushing death doom from Detroit? Let's get into it. Oh boy, I actually already really like this. The production already, you can tell the band is working on. This is much better than their debut, which is called Of Terror and the Supernatural. For those who aren't familiar with this style, this is a little bit of a more technical version of death doom. And when I say technical, I mean faster, more techy, and a little bit more punk rock. This band has a lot in common with Coffins and with Hooded Menace. Plus, I have to talk about those great gargling vocals, which are courtesy of the vocalist Mike Airdoddy. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, Mike. Mike is actually really a huge part of the Detroit metal scene. So the next time in Detroit, Mike, I owe you a beer. The song continues in this heavy, technical, punky, deathy way for some time, and then you get a really excellent solo. Nice. I actually really like that the solo is kind of buried in the mix there and that it nicely complements both the drums and the bass, which all eventually kind of dissipate into the ether when the track ends. That is a proper ending for a song of this style. For the next song, we get death with a heavy injection of doom metal. Here is A Watery Internment. Oof. Anyways, that song has a sick, heavy, doomy, evil feel, but the doom metal is what's important here. So if you're not familiar with Shadow Kingdom Records, they're a great record label based out of the United States, and they do a lot of doom metal. They do bands like Altar of Oblivion, who are epic doom. They did Funeral Circle, Canadian epic doom. They did Iron Man, old school doom. And they've done Iron Sword, which is basically the Portuguese equivalent of Manowar. So it seems a bit odd for this band to be signed to the label, but when I hear all the doom metal elements, I really understand why they did get signed. And fuck, they're a great addition. Anyways, let's listen to more of this song because it does get heavier and it really retains that creepy graveyard feel. when the heavy drops, it just gets fucking crushing. Asphyx is a band who has done this incredibly well. I mean, listen to a track like The Rack or MS Bismarck, and you're getting that exact same feeling where everything goes in, and all of a sudden it's just time for hair flying, and it's great. And I think that this band's doing it perfectly. And best part is, the album keeps getting better. So, speaking of the best song on the album, this is the album's standout track. It's called Graven Desires. I'm really impressed that the band left their best song for the second last on the album, because a lot of newer bands are inclined to put it near the front, which makes the rest of the record a bit of a come down. And this band did the opposite, which is great because it leaves you wanting more. So you get lots of gargling, guttural vocals. This is the kind of thing that's going to inspire a crazy mosh pit, and it would be a lot of fun, and there's going to be hair farmers everywhere. And then at the end of the song, you get a really interesting integration. This is classic Detroit style metal where out of the blue you get something that's kind of unexpected, but it works really well. I really like this vocal integration. It doesn't feel forced, it sounds good, it works well, and it's unusual, which is the sign of a band that is taking a style and putting their own spin on it, and that's really all you can ask for when you're doing something with such an established history. So the band is not reinventing the wheel by any means, but they are doing death doom extremely well. Let's discuss that in the verdict. I'm going to put it out front here. I honestly think that this is one of the strongest records I've reviewed this year so far for Banger, and it joins Demal and Vampire as one of the most consistent releases. I do think, though, that we should talk about death doom a little bit because it's a genre with a very varied history, and I think that people who are into it tend to like very specific styles. Some people might think that death doom means Asphyx, Thergathon, Disembowelment, Autopsy, and the like. Or you might like the prettier style, which is bands like My Dying Bride and Swallow the Sun. Either way, how you look at death doom, I think that this band fits nicely in that lineage. There's parts from all the different genres, and they all come together in a really strong, cohesive way. So again, I would compare this band to both Coffins and to Hooded Menace and to Acid Witch, which they share members with. So it's a pretty fitting comparison. The thing that Temple of Void is doing best on this record is not only are they doing death doom well, but they're going off on their own and doing some really cool integrations. The unusual vocals are a great addition, and the soloing, it's a really good addition. I'm really enjoying the fact that this band is putting something into their songs that you wouldn't necessarily expect from a record like this. The last thing that I need to discuss is that cover. This painting is by Paolo Girardi. He's a very famous painter, and you've seen his covers on the newest offering by Manila Road, To Kill a King. Make sure you listen to it, came out a couple weeks ago. And he also did the newest Power Trip. So he is an incredibly talented artist, and he does a great thing on this record for the band. For all these reasons, I'm giving this album 4 skulls out of 5 here on Overkill Reviews. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you can see me nerd out over a bunch more underground records in the future.